Too sketchy.
Hey, what is going on YouTube? Too Sketchy coming at you, and today we're going to be doing something just a tad bit different and or something I've done before. It doesn't really matter. And with that being said, we are going to be going over the patch notes of August 29th, 2017. So if you're in the future and watching this and or in the past, looking back at this, August 29th is when I'm reading this. But with that being said, I also want to inform you that currently, as I'm recording this, August 29th, Relic has launched the notes, but the build itself, the patch itself for the executable, for the application, for the game is running into some issues. As you can tell here on their Twitter, they are currently having some technical difficulties on getting this up and running. They are pretty much updating us every time they can. The last update was about 2 hours ago, so unfortunately they're still ironing out some kinks. Today's patch won't be launching, but most likely will be tomorrow as soon as they figure this out. So if you want to know more and or want to know when this does go live, go ahead and follow them on their Twitter and or follow me on mine, as I will update you guys based on what the hell is going on. But I thought that, you know what, the fact that that's happening is kind of good because it allows us to really digest to what has been changed, applied, balanced, and whatnot. There's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of numbers. So with that being said, as I'm going to show you real quick, we are going to be going through all this stuff and just dissecting it one by one. Grab yourself some water, soda, tea, coffee, lunch, breakfast, the Snickers bar, whatever you want, because this is going to be pretty damn hefty and heavy information. And I did bring out the handy dandy notebook just in case I need to draw you some pretty pictures and or make sense of certain things. Make sense of certain things. I should actually put that in bold, because there are certain parts where I'm just going to look at it like, what? I've skimmed certain things and I'm just like, I'm pretty damn confused myself. So maybe with the help of the community, we'll be able to figure this out together. Also, in the background, I am running the Dawn of War 3 soundtrack to keep us company. And with that being said, let's just continue on and start this up, shall we? So the patch overview. What is new is the modding tools have been added. So modders' capabilities has been expanded, and the Steam Workshop now has full support for the new mod tools. So that's pretty cool. There's some really good maps out there already. And for all these fan creators and or just awesome people that make this kind of stuff, being able to apply even more changes and or be creative in a different type of way, just the fan base itself on Warhammer is so amazing that I'm pretty sure these modders that have already created certain things are pretty damn excited about this, because I am. I love seeing their new maps, and I actually need to cast a replay on a new map. So if you guys have something, I know I've received something but the patch broke it. If you guys have any cool replays on new maps and or modded maps, do let me know and send them my way. Moving on further, we do have an autosave feature now for the campaign, which is pretty damn cool. If you've you know, played the campaign and we're stuck on, oh, should I save now, should I save, you don't have to worry about it. Finally, we have autosave in the campaign. And the last but not least big improvement for this patch is the balance update. And note that this is multiplayer only. These apply not for the campaign, only multiplayer, so that's good to know. So whatever we're going to be going through right now is not for the campaign, multiplayer based update and balances only. General gameplay. So this is one of the first ones I was just like, wait, what does this actually mean? Vehicle health upgrades now apply to player made structures. At first I was like, okay, player made structure, does that mean that it used to upgrade your health and all your players got vehicle upgrades and whatnot? I don't even know what that is. But no. So whenever you upgrade your vehicle's health, it actually applies to your structures as well. So that's pretty damn cool. Not only are you upgrading your vehicle health, but also your structures. Buildable defense turrets and or just buildable turrets across all factions. Man. All factions decrease from 60 to 50 power. So being able to build more turrets for cheaper, I guess, is pretty damn cool. Diomedes, Terminators, Mad Dread, and Wraith Blades no longer gain fury while attacking neutral objectives. What does that mean? A neutral objective is a turret, a shield generator, a power core, things like that. Things that doesn't belong to a player those are neutral objectives, so they can't gain fury out of that. You can't like stack their fury and or depend on fury getting built up by attacking certain buildings. Not buildings, but these neutral objectives. Anyways, another thing that's changed verbally and or, you know, along the codex, how do you say? Not verbally. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. The slowing effect from Devastators, Upgraded Looters, Terminators, and Dark Reapers are now classified as status effect. Yes, a completely different effect. It doesn't say slow anymore. Now it says suppression. And with that being said, suppression does not stack. So let's say you had a set of heavy bolters, upgraded looters, right? So they were suppressing down the enemy down the line, and you had another set of looters. Let's say this slow was like 1.0 slow, and this one was shooting as well, and it's 1.0 slow. Together, whatever unit they were shooting at was a 2.0. That doesn't happen anymore. Whatever shoots and slows, it's that number. If there is a source that is larger, let's say there was, I don't know, something else that was shooting at them, and his slow would actually be a 2.0 slow, none of these effects would apply. The 1.0, 1.0, only this one would apply. So whatever is the largest affecting slow and or now called suppression is going to apply over the smaller ones. So it does not stack anymore. And that's pretty cool, I guess. It makes it seem a bit more balanced because you can have a spammable amount of slows and decays and just pretty much stun your units to the point where they can't move anymore. The economy has changed pretty damn hefty amount. So, and especially as you can tell by the power generation rate and or generators in general, power generators initial requisition costs increase from to be able to build a power gen, you need requisition. On the beginning, the initial requisition cost is 100. It used to be 80, so we're going to be starting with 100 requisition to be able to build a power gen. The scaling cost increased from 16 to 50 requisition. Scaling cost, my guess is scaling cost requisition is meaning the upgrade. So if you want to upgrade your power gens, am I right? No, I'm butchering that. Hold on. Power generation scaling. Power generator scaling requisition cost. Alright, that's one of the first ones. I'm already like, wait, what? Power generation scaling requisition increase. What is... Moving on. The power rate generator decreased from 25 to 20. So, it's just going to generate less per generator. Power rate per generator. As makes sense. And the power reward for killing, so you used to get rewarded for killing the shield generator, which was 100, now turned into 50. Is that good? Well, you are getting, not, I guess you can say you're getting nerfed based on how much power you're generating. You know, we're getting a decrease here. It costs more money to be able to build them. Why, you know, but if you check out the escalation phases, they are absolutely ginormous. Phase 2, between every phase, except the last one, there was a 50% increase, which was pretty decent. But from phase 1 into phase 2, it's now 87.5%. Like, that is massive. That's almost 100% increase, except not 100. That is a pretty damn huge increase. So between phase 1, phase 2, going into phase 3, you should be packing a pretty hefty amount of power, which it pretty much makes phase 2, so between 10 minutes and 20 minutes, a high and scalable mark in the battle where you're going to be acquiring a ton of power. And by phase 3, you're going to be you're going to be rocking some heavy damn units. And by that time, there's some battles already fought. And phase 3 is still continuing on with a lot of power generation, but by that time you should be rocking pretty hefty army, and then 30% for phase 4. So that's a lot of damn changes. I mean, this is just gameplay in general. This is economy, escalation phases, some changes to the structures, slows abilities has been renamed. Are you still with me? I hope you are, because we are now starting with the Space Marines. Tactical Marine, reduced effectiveness of flamers, and this has been something that's been cried about a lot recently. And not, you know what, as an orc main, I found myself having some bit of trouble every now and then, always wanting to avoid the flamers. Flamers always cause a hell of a lot of trouble, but they were manageable, especially as the orc, because they have that, what do you say, aerial effectiveness to where I can launch boys with trucks and, or, you know, I can pretty much poke them out with a set of Ludus. And Eldar can do that too, because Dark Reapers. But with that being said, I think that Eldar were the ones that struggled the most. It was essentially an Eldar counter, the Flamer ability. So as you can tell, Flamers teeter too much on the brink of too powerful, or worse, too risky for their cost. These changes bring their power down a notch, so that it's not only the effectiveness, you know, it keeps struggling. Flamers upgrade in terms of Flamers ability. I'm not going to read a lot of this text, but I'm just going to go through the numbers. So the damage has been decreased from 5 to 3.75. The damage over time, this is huge. I'm guessing the time is, you know, per second. So it used to do 20 damage per second. Like that's just burst. 20 damage, like boom, boom, boom. That's in 3 seconds you're doing 80 damage. Now just what, in 2 seconds you got 16 damage. That's my math, right? Math is good. So instead of in 2 seconds doing 40 damage, now you're gonna be doing 16 damage. That's a hell of a big difference, which is pretty damn cool. I mean, seeing the cost difference, it's just a bit less. It's 10 power less. 10 power less? 10 power less. Sounds like a weird word. So less power to be able to generate your flamer upgrades, and these are still being built out of the arsenal. So plasma gun upgrade also has received a little bit of a nerf and or a buff. It's essentially a buff. Nerf as in like it went down, but buff to your economy because you're not going to be spending as much. And there's a bit of a bug fix with the plasmas. It used to overheat, and they weren't throwing their grenades for the tactical marines. So now when they overheat their guns, they're gonna be able to throw their frag grenades, which was a bug. Continuing on, this is pretty damn big as well. So scout snipers' hidden and cover fire doctrines have been changed to active abilities. Whew. Though the scout sniper themselves are in a good spot, their doctrine choices needed more differentiation. Hidden wasn't picked often, and although we recently buffed it, this didn't have the full impact that we were going for. This patch will prevent Blazy 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 Blue. The cover fire has also been changed to an active, so timing it as huge. Blah, blah, blah. Hidden. So if you don't know what hidden is, luckily I was able to launch Dawn of War 3, and I wanted to show you what hidden is for the ones that don't know. I said this is going to be a long, dreadful video. Let's get this going, shall we? Hello? Come on. So hidden is a, that's Scout Strike. This is cover fire. Where the hell is hidden? Here it is. So hidden, snipers that remain stationary in stealth for a duration gain stealth that persists even if they leave. Stealth is removed after they attack or are detected. After firing from stealth, they are temporarily gain speed. So that's hidden, and I know there are certain other ones like where is it at? Not Scout Strike. This one, cover fire. So if snipers are in stealth, or heavy fire, they gain range and attack slow. Okay, cool. So now it is an active. It's essentially hidden has now become sneaky grut for the Gretchens. You can activate it and they're instantly stealth and increase their movement speed for 1.5 for 20 seconds. So that's pretty cool. Cover fire is now a toggle ability. So you're gonna be able to, if you remember what cover fire was, right? Cover fire was shooting from the from an area, and it increases your range and attacks slow. So it slows their attacks, right? Their range attacks slow. Their ranged attacks slow. Okay, never mind. They just slow people. I thought they slow. Anyways, while active shots apply slow, blah blah blah, it does not stack and it slows for 2 seconds. Pretty damn good ability if you ask me. We might see some more scout snipers on the battlefield. And moving on. The scout, you know, a lot of us like no more scout spam. RTS Cult, I hate you so much, because I feel like RTS Cult was one of the first ones to make that public with the scout spam. being able to completely ignore was power and just build off of requisition, and to the point where you just have scouts running the map and chain CCing. I mean, that's it still applies, and I think it still might be a thing, but it's going to be a tad bit harder to achieve that because these scouts have increased from 200 to 250, and the damage has been increased. However, the stun has been decreased, so you're going to see a 0.5 less. I really feel like this should have been a bit less. I feel like this should have been 2. From 3 seconds to 2 seconds. I feel like that 0.5 might not be noticeable. I personally think that the blind grenade, oh man, this is gonna be tough because I know a lot of people out there are, you know, one-sided and completely left or completely right. Change this one to 2, and or make this something you need to research. You know what I mean? Because you can still. All right. I'm trying to think about this because how much would it cost if you built 2 scouts now, right? It would cost 500. It used to cost 400 to build 2, as you can tell here. So that's already a huge difference. I mean, you look at this and like, oh, they only increased by 50 requisition. But well, if you look at it as a mass production, you're gonna be looking at 750 requisition just to get 3 units up. That's nearly 1,000 just to get 3. You know, like that's a pretty damn big change if you ask me. But the stun, I feel like this should have been just a tad bit lower. But maybe that 0.5 is enough to make a difference. We'll see how it applies to the battlefield. Moving on, Heavy Bolter Devastator. I haven't really read this one yet. Added the ability to upgrade the... Oh yeah, I did read this. This was actually pretty damn huge. So for 60 requisition and 60 power, they're essentially turning the Heavy Bolter... Now, this is actually really cool. I totally forgot this. In the armory, from now on, you're going to have a upgrade. You can read this if you want. But there's going to be an upgrade that you can research called Improved Suppression. Improved Suppression, which as we already know is Suppression, which they have renamed from Slow, up top. I was going to show you, but I don't want to lose my place. So Improved Suppression is just like a Luda squad. Instead, Ludas need to loot their scrap to be able to have Suppression. But for the Space Marines, you can actually research this for 60 requisition and 60 power. You can slow with the Heavy Bolters now. I think that's pretty damn cool. So when researched, they slow and hit, and it says increase to 0.2. I feel like it should decrease to... So it slows them by 2, whatever that increment normal value is based on the battle. Last Cannon Devastators changed beam intensity to be less punishing against infantry. So last cannons at one point, I think, were very much used against anything. It almost felt like they did true damage. You know what I mean? They could be used against infantry that had normal armor. It was definitely viable against structures and or heavy armor. So they're taking that away, and the beam intensity charges for half speed, so it's not going to charge up as fast versus infantry, which I think they mean normal armor. And then the time charge for the full beam. So I think there's 3 sets of there's actually 3 sets of intensities. It takes them 9 seconds to get to beam intensity number 3, I guess you can say, and the damage per second has been decreased from 6.5 to 5.42. Very, very odd number, but I think that's a whole and some. Whole and a little bit less. So that's pretty good. The Land Speeder changed Lone Wolf Doctrine to be easier to use. So I actually did notice this, and I think this is a pretty damn good change. The Land Speeder Doctrine. Lone Wolf was an ability that lets you, let's pull this up real quick actually, it was an ability that let you fly around the map and not really worry too much about it. Where is it at? Here it is. Land Speeder. Fight harder when they're behind enemy lines, increasing damage and reduces damage taken. So they gained a shield essentially and were able to deal a lot of damage. The problem with that was if you're playing in a team environment, and here it is, no longer deactivates around allies, and will only deactivate once it's close to your troops. So the title itself, Lone Wolf, means you are out there on your own. Even though you're around your buddies and friends, you're still under your own banner, your own chapter. So you're by yourself, and the area of effect decreased by half. The area of effect, don't really know what this area of effect is. I think it's the actual Lone Wolf ability once that can kick in. So let's just continue on. If I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me. I don't mind. Whirlwind improved to Inferno missiles. Oh, improvements. I'm like, wait, what's an Inferno missile? So they have an ability called Inferno missile, which this one kind of confused me too. Initial damage reduced from 45 to 36. All right, so it's gonna deal a bit less damage. Damage over time reduction from 19.2 damage per second to 12. This is the first time they used per second, huh? 12 damage per second per missile. This one is, wait, I want this explained to me. Inferno missile scatter increased from 0 to 15. I'm trying to figure this out, because I know that the ability, you choose it, right, and then you have a circle which you put down. There's like a circle within a circle with some weird markings, right? So I'm wondering if the missile scatter has increased. If the area of effect was 0, and let's say this was all 0, it might have just been 15 to where like it scatters wider now. Not really sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think the area of effect, the scatter itself, might now just randomly scatter wider, I guess you can say. That is my thought. That's the way I processed it. Again, don't quote me on it. We'll figure this out once the patch does go live, and hopefully it does go tomorrow, because oh my god, there's so many changes. Now we are on Chaplain Diomedes. This one is nothing really changed here. There's just a bunch of bug fixes which allowed him to cast a spell. So as you can tell, Diomedes will now have to stay put to be able to cast. He used to be able to run and cast a spell at the same time, which made him look like he was floating a little bit. So there's, I guess, a bit of a channel time now. You have to cast it first, and then you can run out and never die like the god that he is. So as you can tell, just a bunch of bug fixes. Additional changes, and I think these are pretty damn big as well, because a lot of people use this especially. So drop pods no longer cause damage to multiplayer objectives. I've already mentioned that neutral objectives are shield generators and turrets, but these are also known as multiplayer objectives. So shield generators, turrets, power cores, etc. And I wonder if this also applies to listing post and other structures like that. That's what I want to know. Blessing of the Omnissiah, healing per second increased from 6 to 30. You will never die. And remove the +2 passive healing generation while in combat. Wait, what? Passive healing while in combat. Could you really heal while you're in combat with this? I'm learning something every day. So you could actually heal and fight next to your structures. Except your vehicles. Holy. I had no idea it did that. That was a big blessing. But now it's been removed. I never was aware of that. This one's pretty damn big too, the improved Death Storm. So for the first 15 seconds after deployment, so 15 seconds is a pretty long time, but you know, Death Storm comes down, and here it is. This is the Death Storm with the doors open. There's a machine gun in it. So 15 seconds. The Death Storm drop pods project an aura that grant 25 shield to nearby units. So there's an aura it'll have, and any unit in it gains a 25. It's almost I feel like this is broken. It's almost acting like the standard, where you're not gonna gain health, you gain a shield. So you gain a shield, 25 shield, whatever that is, 25 HP shield, I guess. The shield will the shield will persist for a short time duration, even if the unit. So this unit right here that's inside of this aura can leave and still have that shield around them. Blah blah blah. It's even if this gets destroyed for a certain amount of time, a short duration, this is still on him. It's not stackable. It doesn't say it's stackable, but multiple Death Storm does not cause this effect to stack, but they will heal existing shields of the same type. What the hell does that mean? Well, if you are sending down a drop pod, right? This is it. It goes, here's a drop pod. And you have your 25 whatever HP shield to this unit. And now you're going to drop down another drop pod. Here it comes. There it is. He's already been taking damage. His shield is what, at like 150? This drop pod right now is going to heal up that shield. Not the HP, not the unit's HP, but that shield. So it was at, let's say, 100, and now it's going to get healed back up. How do I feel about that? I think that's a pretty cool mechanic. I think I need to go against it first to be able to judge if that's broken or not. It's pretty cool that you keep your Space Marines, you know, that vigor, that like, I will not die, that last stands type thing. But if you're gonna send down 3 drop pods in the vicinity of a unit that you're almost, you know, killing. Let's say you have an orc over here, which is gonna be yellow because I can't pick green. An orc over here shooting at this one unit, and he will not die because of all these damn drop pods that are consistently giving him shield. I mean, by this time, by the time you have 3 drop pods, this fight is gonna escalate so damn fast to the point where it's not gonna last long. But I'm thinking that you do not want to fight in the drop pod's vicinity. You know what I mean? Like, the auras out of these guys is just gonna amplify whatever shield this unit is using, and that's just, you want to get the hell out of Dodge. Every time I see a drop pod icon, I'm just like, oh, time to leave, because drop pod, that means like, imagine standard on top of this too. Just leave. Just leave. As soon as you see something drop from the sky, no matter if it's Dawn of War 3 or real life, get the hell out. With that being said, that is what the changes have been made to the Space Marines. So if you're an Eldar or Orc player, keep on waiting because we're going to go through this. If you're only a Space Marine player, I'll see you later. Good to know you. See ya. You don't have to stay for this, but if you're more interested in what your enemies have been up to and or what their changes, we are going to be going through them up next. Let's check out the Howling Banshees. They have increased damage and reduced power cost for Quick Strike. So Howling Banshees are a tad underpowered, which I do agree. They do get melted pretty damn fast, especially with the Flamer upgrade we saw up top that did get pretty damn nerfed. But rather than upping their base stats at the moment, we're giving them more choices. Additionally, players really like the idea of Banshee Rage, but in practice it was hard to secure enough kills to really benefit this choice. This doctrine now grants a shield. What? These damn shields! You can never kill them! This doctrine now grants a shield based on damage done, so you don't need to focus on securing kills with the Banshees. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Quick Strike. Okay, cool. So less cost, more damage. That's fine with me. It's pretty good ability. It's not that much damage, and it's not that much less, but it's good. It's what you need. It's what you want as an Eldar player. The doctrine for Banshee Rage, though, instead of triggering after 6 kills, so this is gone. No more 6 kills gain the. It now requires 900 damage to be dealt. Okay, and I wonder if this applies to, if you can use Quick Strike, and if that layers into Banshee's Rage, if that applies to 900 damage. Okay. 900 damage. I guess you're gonna want to fight. What am I gonna say? You're gonna want to fight line units that don't have heavy armor. You know what I mean? Like a tactical marine, scout, stuff like that. I mean, by that time, that's the only, obviously. You don't want to send a Banshee in there to go fight a fucking Predator Annihilate or anything like that with, because you're not gonna cut through that armor. You're gonna do a lot of damage to normal armor, which by that time, like I said, that's the only thing. Damn. By the time we do 900 damage to you see this, right? Look at that health. By the time you do 900 damage, this thing has already gone 100 damage, 90 damage ago. I didn't realize that. This one's a good one, actually. If you want to deal 900 damage to an Assault Marine, and then you gain your Banshee Rage. If you don't know what Banshee Rage is, let me just show that this is why I have Dawn of War 3 up. Thank you very much. Oh, hello. There you go. You gain his shield. Cool. Are we all on the same page? I'm glad. So Dark Reapers are the next one. Changes to Dark Reapers focus and teleport beacon. Dark Reapers wasn't a popular choice. Sorry, not Dark Reapers. The Reaper focus wasn't a popular choice. So we reworked it to add a conditional slow. And teleport beacon was also underwhelming because the optimal time window to use it was too limiting. Removing the maximum duration of the beacon should improve this, as well as adding instant setup and teardown will give players the option of using it as more to set up as escapes. Okay, cool. So this doctrine, named beacon and focus, no longer expires after duration, so you're going to be able to put down your beacon, and the beacon is essentially a place to teleport back to. If all of you like Overwatch players, it's kind of like, what's her face, is the hacker girl that can just teleport back to her spot. It also reduced cast time. Beacon deployed from 5 to 3 seconds. Gain 3 seconds of instant setup and teardown after using recall. No longer have setup. Squads already set up and teardown beacon is cast within range. That's pretty cool. This might be actually really good doc, because you know what, they take a while, and if they caught up in melee, that it's so hard to get them the hell out of dodge. Ludas have a doctrine called magnets, which I'll actually talk about in a little bit. It's pretty damn cool. They reworked that too, but they can get, they can always jump out, leap out if you feel like they're too much on the front line and the melees are in their face. And the teleport beacon right here seems to be a pretty damn good ability. If you don't know what it is, I think I can pull it up here. I'm not too sure what it looks like. Where are these guys at? That's Reaper Focus, which we will go through next. I think this one is. Yeah. So you set up like a little teleporting beacon. As you can tell, they walk up to it and there's like a little black box. Are they going to do it? They're going to do it. There it is. And then they can just walk away, and then there's an active ability which lets you teleport back to that, as you can see right there. Takes quite a while too, huh? So is there any changes to gain 3 seconds of instant setup and teardown after using recall? No longer have to tear down a squad's already set up. This is a cast time. So okay, so it doesn't take as long. Only 3 seconds. So getting them the hell out of dodge is pretty good. Man, I've spent way too much time on that. And Reaper Focus no longer increases the line of sight while in heavy cover or stealth. But if Dark Reaper is within the range of a webway gate, their ranged attacks will slow enemy with by 1. So it slows now within a webway gate. And being that you want to keep the near webway gate so you can utilize fleet of foot, it's pretty damn essential because it does make them escape faster. Like I already said, they take a while to set up and tear down, but with teleport beacon it might help them. Let's continue on, shall we, with Rangers. Reduced power cost, increased Ranger focus damage. A while back we increased the power cost to both unlock and build Rangers as a result of the effectiveness of Ranger spam in team games. Though they are still popular in 3v3 games, they're picked less often in 1v1s? Really? Sorry, gotta drink some coffee. I mean, I can see that. I mean, why would you? You want to be in a 1v1. I can see that because you want to be more upfront, more in your face, hurry up and kill things. Given our intent, slightly reduced power income effectiveness scale, we're going to revert back to original power cost. So they are going back, which is 15. So 330 requisition and 15 power. The Ranger Doctrine did not have enough impact, so we're going to add something that increases its value, a damage boost. So this is the Ranger Focus. This will have some good interaction, blah blah blah. Ranger Focus increased by 25%. Now what is Ranger Focus, if you ask me? I think it was kind of like Vigor. That's Shadow Step. Wait, what is that? It's not Vigor. It's okay. It's whenever you're in stealth or heavy cover, you gain 25? Woo! They're pretty damn defensive now. My god. That's pretty good. Oh man, we're gonna be seeing Cataclaw back and stuff. This is pretty damn good. Wraith Blade increased movement speed. So from 3 to 4. Cool. Increased rate of Fury generation for Vengeance by 50%. And they have a doctrine too, Swift Vengeance. Functionality of this doctrine has been overhauled. Swift Vengeance now causes Wraith Blades to move as if they're within range of a webway gate when Vengeance is full. Although this effect does not stack with Fleet of Foot. Holy. They're going to be like some Olympic sprinters. Good God. So they did get a default increase. They can gain Vengeance a lot faster, 50% faster, and when they do get it, they run even faster, right? I'm catching this right? But it doesn't stack with Fleet of Foot. They move as if they were in the webway gate. Jeez. Please, no. Wraith Guard changes to the enhanced battle focus. This doctrine is close to being balanced, but it needed to drain a bit less energy when firing and not pause our energy regeneration while active, which made it look like unintended gameplay. Wait, how does that? Enhanced battle focus, energy drain reduced. Battle focus. Hold up guys, bear with me for a second. Let's just go through what battle focus is. Need to remind myself as I am not too familiar with these amazing doctrines. Where the hell? Here it is. So Wraith. Oh, is that the no, that's not the one. That's Rift Blast. That's this one. That's the one that does like normal damage all of a sudden. So battle focus, Wraith goes into stated battle focus, increased damage speed, but drains their shield. That makes sense. So they get attack speed and drain some of it, and that's what's draining. I was like, what are we draining here? What energy are we? So we're draining the shield. It's draining a bit less per shot, and it's not continuously draining their shield. I don't know what the hell they meant by energy. My bad. So continuing on, Viper increased health and shield. Vipers. Okay, that's a lot of text. Man, that's a lot of changes. Hold on, let's go through this, shall we? Vipers are hard to amass and can be easily countered. That is true. So we're increasing their health and shield by 20%. So they perform better in smaller numbers. We noticed that the Viper missile launches rotation a bit slow. It was okay, so they turn speed. Cool. Small things like that, I like that. The temporal mine doctrine will now function exactly the same if there is an enemy nearby. Wait, did it act differently before? But planting the mine itself will not only be faster, but the mine will also activate quicker. We've also tweaked the timing on the temporal stun doctrine to make the stun activates as soon as the slow field triggers. These changes make the Viper feel a lot more responsive. Given how fragile... You know what? Actually... Hold on, let me finish this before I get into that. Given how fragile they can be if they're not careful. Finally, Viper Haste Doctrine gives them more defensive utility, which is something that has previously lacked. Okay, cool. So their health has been, by default, increased by from this to 420. 420. Lol. 450. Shields from 125 to 150. And missile launcher rotation. Holy. That's a... Whatever this number is, that's a big number from this number. So these are the doctrine changes. I do think, and I do know what they're talking about with the mines. It just took so damn long. So the temporal mine casting is now instant. What is temporal mine casting? I think this is going to be very helpful to people. Whoa! Hello? There was so much. Was there like a mix of Space Marines in there? That's what it seemed like. So that's Viper Sting. That's Temporal Mine. So Temporal Mine is you can go down, you plant your mines, like as you can tell, and then you have to back up. It's the what are they called? Not the scorpions, the other ones, the warp spiders. It's pretty much that mine. But it takes so long. Just as you can see, it stuns them, and then you can ride over there. But to be able to micro that is unless you're in a defensive posture and you just have time to kill, I don't think you utilize that. But now it's instant. Activation time is now instant, so it doesn't take a while for the unit to get on it, stay on it, and then it explodes. It's immediate. That's fucking ridiculous. Increase activation radius. Wow. Stun duration decreased though. Okay, cool. The stun now occurs when the bomb first explodes. Cool, that's all for Temporal Mine. So for Viper Haste, when attacked, you gain 50% movement speed for 5 seconds. And reduce damage by 50. Holy! They're gonna be like sneaky, fast, unkillable almost. Can only trigger every 20 seconds. And no longer grants a burst of speeds when shields are destroyed. They also fixed the bug, which Temporal Mine couldn't be targeted in the fog of war. So the haste one is essentially a speed up. So it's more like a get the hell out of dodge. Jesus, sure, unlock it. Whatever. I didn't mean to do that. Where's it at? That's Viper Sting. Where's the haste? That's Temporal. Wait. Temporal Mine, Temporal Stun. So this is the one that stuns. As you can tell, it rides up and then it stuns. So now it's, I guess, faster. Is that the same one as I was reading about? Temporal Mine, Temporal. So this is the stun one. Temporal Mine, Temporal Stun. We're on the same page. Temporal Stun, Temporal Mine. These three are mines. These three are for the stuns. And now we're going to be talking about the haste. I know I'm all over the place right now. Sorry about that. This is just a lot of information, and I don't know why it's acting so strange. It's mixing like orcs and Space Marines in there. This is haste. It's speed boost. Got it? Cool. Cool. Next we got that's the bug, the Falcon. So changes to the Falcon haste out of combat speed bonus wasn't impactful enough, so we've added. So what did they do? Change to active ability that increased movement speed from 3 to 10. Man, they're gonna be zooming, breaking the law. That's pretty cool actually. So you can just like click, boop, activate it, and then they're gonna be like turbo boosters on the Falcons. I like that. Really cool. Ranger Rohan, increased rate of fire. You know what? When Dawn of War 3 first came out, and I was playing actually versus Cataclaw, and this is when Angry Joe was playing it in the beginning, and I got to play the closed beta, and that's when I found out who the hell Cataclaw was. This was his go-to man. Ranger Ronan was his godlike. He would play him all the time. And as of recently, once the game fully released, Ranger Ronan kind of fell short. I have no idea if that's what it says, but in our experience, newer players find Ronan very hard to deal with. Deal with as in... But he is quite easy to counter if you face him a few times in order. Okay, that's what I meant. In order to be more competitive, we feel he needs more active stealth. So we want to increase the rate of fire and the rate at which he gains his charges a long shot. So as I was saying, Cataclaw utilized him a lot, and Cataclaw is obviously a really good player, and he was able to utilize him to perfection. But as they mentioned, in a competitive environment, he kind of feels not as good. So his rate of fire is definitely, his DPS is going to be 7 now instead of 9. Pretty damn good. More damage coming out of him. I want to see him more in the battle too, because him being able to teleport around and into stealth cover is pretty damn cool. So this is his long shot. I think that's his Q ability and or W ability. So time to generate a charge outside of stealth cover Lord from... Whoa, that's a pretty damn lower cooldown there. And time to generate charge inside of stealth cover. Whew. So he's going to be able to utilize long shot a lot more. And there was a bug that they fixed, which is fixed. Cool. Wraith Lord, increased damage. So Wraith Lord is pretty cool. I like the Wraith Lord's cleave. It's not cleave. It's clave charge. Clave charge is the one where he drags a sword across the ground and then swings it upwards and knocks people back. It does a lot more damage now. Not the ability, but the ability too, as you can tell. But he, in general, does 350 more damage. But the charge ability now... Don't get stuck or between his charge ability. It went from 200 to 500. Now, there's a big difference between true and armor piercing. So true damage ignores everything. Armor, heavy armor, regular armor, normal armor, no armor. You can be out there in the battlefield naked and this will still do 500 damage to you. But now it's only armor piercing. So it's not going to do 500 damage to, let's say, all your regular line units like tactical marines. It's going to do 500 damage to like your dreadnoughts and or mad dread, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And his speed has been increased. Or this particular ability has been increased. So it's going to happen a lot faster. That's pretty cool. And if they're in a wall, lasts longer. Additional changes currently for the Eldar is the shield generation upgrade power cost reduced from 75 to 60. This one kind of confused me for a little bit, but reinforcements now returns an X amount of percentage to squad's shields, where the X amount is the number of models left in the squad. If you're an absolute math nerd, go ahead and write it in the comment sections below and tell me what the hell this means. I know there's numbers involved and a lot of math. Break this down for me if you know what, you know. Essentially, it looks like if you have a squad of, let's say, 4 units and you lose 3 and you come back with 3 units and you're next to a building and you want to reinforce this. So I'm guessing 3%. 3% more or faster regeneration of your shield. Or not shield, sorry, reinforcement. Blah, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Oh, wrong button. Vehicle shield upgrades increase the effectiveness. Oh, man. Bigger shields. That's pretty cool. Deployable energy shields no longer requires tier 2. That's pretty cool. Deployable power cost reduced from 50 to 30. Deployable shields. Health decreased. Okay. And construction time increased from 20 to 30. So, deployable energy shields. A lot of people are like, wait, what is that? What even is a deployable energy shield? Oops, I need to go back to my arrow here. I'm gonna have that dot. Deployable energy shield was something that I was actually looking forward to when Eldar first came out. Where is it at? There it is. You don't really see that as often. It was a shield, but it got, you know, wiped out pretty damn often, and or it took too long. But for a bone singer that's not really doing much and just kind of standing there, they can build, you know, energy shields. Why not? You can just kind of boop boop, put it down real quick, and then you have an energy shield. No big deal. And for the fact that it costs so much less, and you don't need tier 2 now, it's a bit less shield, but it's still 1,000 damage that it can block. And increase. Well, it takes 30 seconds to build. So I'm very curious if people are going to be utilizing it a bit more, seeing that you might be able to, like, let's say top view, you have a building here, and the enemy, you know, the enemy is going to come through this lane. You can build, you know, several shields here or there, and then put your units behind it and just have them try to get through this. I know your damage can go through, but theirs can't, kind of thing. So being able to utilize that to its fullest is pretty damn cool. I want to see that be utilized. It'll be pretty damn exciting. Last but not least, save the best for last, boys. You know how it is. They already know. They put it at the bottom. Let's just go through the orcs real quick. So Thump from the Sky was an ability that you had to channel and or cast. Thump from the Sky was something that I tried to utilize recently, and it's not an ability that's easily mastered, because people are just gonna avoid the hell out of it. Thump from the, you see how slow this is? Man. Thump from the sky. Nope. Yup, here it is. So you used to just go into combat, and then right now they're channeling it. Channel, and finally comes down. By that time, the enemy already knows that, oh, he's utilizing thump from the sky. He's going to take his banshees and get the hell out of dodge. But now it's something completely different. Thump, up at the sky. Boys now pick a nearby target location and channel. So they can, essentially, they can sit back and then kind of target a location. For every 1.5 seconds, you get a maximum of 3 seconds that the rocks, I guess, can come down. And it deals 20 damage after some time and knocks back 6 meters. Are we going by meters now? These, I don't know. Numbers are kind of confused. 6 meters? Is that meters? 6 meter radius? Or 6M? I don't know what the scaling is anymore. Thump from the sky channel time has been reduced, so it's a bit shorter. Reduced knockback by this many percents. It's not a global cooldown anymore and can now be interrupted. So that's pretty cool. Ludus. This is the magnet changes that I was talking about. So kind of like the Dark Reapers can use their teleport beacon majiggers thingies to be able to, you know, get the hell out of dodge. Magnets is something that they've kind of reworked, as you can tell. Trying to use magnets at less than max range often yielded little benefit due to having set up your weapon again. As a result, we've implemented a change that should make this doctrine more useful for both offense and defense, and I love this doctrine now. I haven't even played it and I already like it because Luda's setup time is a lot. I mean, it's just like Heavy Bolters and Dark Reapers, but it's this. Decrease the cooldown from 60 to 40 seconds. Okay, cool, so I can use it more often. But for 10 seconds, looters are under the effect of magnetic boost, which allows them to instantly set up and tear down. So for 10 seconds, let's say you use it. You could even use it if it's something really close to you. You can just get this buff, you know what I mean? But for 10 seconds, they're going to essentially become shooters. They can instantly step up, step up, They don't need to tear down, tear up. That's pretty damn cool. I like that ability. I fucking like that ability. Thank you. I didn't need it, but now I do. Fix the bug where Luda would run. Wait, what? They fixed the bug where the Luda would try to run back to the original position where he used magnetic. That's pretty funny. He's like, no, I want to go back. Tank Busters changed the Bomb Squig ability. What changes? Bomb Squig demanded too much micro to counter relative easy. Really? Too much micro, huh? Okay. Can now be auto-targeted by the enemy unit. Okay. Squids have lower attack priority. Okay. It's not that big of a change, I guess. What does that have to do with micro? Auto-targeted by enemy? Lower, I think this. Lower attack priority. I thought for a second it just kind of spawns on its own if it's too much micro. But it still has the same amount. Anyways, Death Cops increase health and damage. Here comes a Death Copter spam that I've been waiting for. So Death Copters in great numbers, or when built from scrap, can be quite effective. Indeed. However, there aren't. Yeah, they're not good on their own. So, I guess now we can kind of build them and not worry about getting killed so damn fast. So now they have even more health and they deal more damage, which is great. And they have a doctrine which is called Warning Grunt. Now deals 300 armor piercing damage. If you don't know what Warning Grunt is, if I can pull it up, I think what it is you know what, I maxed out my settings and then I didn't like restart my my Dawn of War 3 application. Warning Grunt is, yeah, you can plant down a Grunt and he can just kind of go away. So he just kind of sits there, and when someone rolls over, boop, that happens. That's it. It's like an alert, like, oh, the enemy's here. It does stun them, but now it also deals 300 armor piercing damage. So it's kind of like a mine, which, again, I didn't need, but I like it now. Kilocan! Kilocan, the big word that I always mess up. There's so many people, it's Kilocan, man! Or, no, it's Kilocan! Kilocans are built more often than other orc vehicles, especially in higher skill brackets. The problem largely lies with a combination of long-range rockets and the upgraded Kilocans? I have to say that with caution. We're making a change that retains the functionality of long-range rockets, but requires the player to sacrifice their burst potential for the super long-range poke that it provides. If players want to decrease their downtime, they'll have to sacrifice a doctrine slot to use the rocket refill doctrine and aggressive pilot guns placement. Additionally, we're significantly reducing the maximum burst of damage of upgrading the cons. So, decrease the number of rockets charges after looting for 6 to 5? Wait, decreasing the max number of rocket charges? Okay. So you need less rockets? Wait, decreasing the maximum number of rocket charges. So you have less rockets. It's an uneven number of rockets now. Interesting. Okay. What? The doctrine long-range rockets, though, is one of the big ones that they've reworked. Now requires a minimum of 3 rockets to trigger. So you cannot shoot this if you have 1 rocket. You need to have 3. And the triggering the ability costs 3 rockets. So they're letting you know you need 3 rockets to shoot. Okay? You have to have 3 and it'll shoot 3. Recharge time lowered from 30 to 25 seconds, and it does provide vision as the rockets do travel. Pretty cool. I don't use long-range rockets as much because I used to think that was a cheap way of dealing with heavy armor. I know that as they already said, in higher tier games, the skill brackets pretty much forced people to pick long-range rockets, but this might slow it down a bit and find a different approach because of, you know, the recent economy changes and all that stuff. So we might see something completely different. Am I playing music still? I don't even know what the hell's going on here. Can I play? Hello? This entire time I was just silent. Good God. Death Dread changes to the big scrap shield. The ability didn't appear to be working correctly, and it now has been fixed. Okay, cool. To give it more impact, we're going to add a heal over time. Okay. We're going to heal over time now? Big scratch increased cooldown from... Okay, so more cooldown, but it now heals up to 1,000 health for 10 seconds! Holy... Wait, what? I can heal 1,000 health. So every second, I'm healing 100 health. Holy Death Dreads. This is definitely going to make a difference. Maybe hopping off of this and now utilizing the Death Dreads a bit more. Wow. This is big. 1,000 for 10 seconds? Hell yeah. Weird Boy Zapnoggin already know this. The cooldown reduction has been increased, so no more Q spams. Commando has a big buff from... Big buff. It's not really a big buff, but health increase and speed bonus. Looks like they came back with it. There's a few bugs that they fixed. Shotgun. Wait, what would it do? Fix the bug where his shotgun would not knock back enemies if he had attacked from stealth. Then he's... I didn't even know. I know there's certain bugs. Wait, fix a bug where stun trap would not stun units that jumped into its radius. There's a certain... I know I even uploaded a replay and or me playing this where there's so many issues with that damn mine I could not click on it, but maybe that'll fix it. This is huge! I actually posted something on Twitter about this. I could not believe. Oh my... Dude, I'm only going to be playing Mad Dread now. For a 7-point elite, the Mad Dread provides good utility with the tunnel, but doesn't have enough presence when he arrives. We are giving him a new ability that should offer more mobility, crowd control, and damage against high-value targets. He's like a massive assassin now. As an added bonus, it can help him reach a full Fury bar if Rampage has triggered and restoring his health. Holy yes, please. So his loot now heals for 475. His rampage passive healing has been increased. His shield has been increased. And his new ability, this thing sounds absolutely insane. Mad Breaker, new ability, enables Mad Dread to charge forward in a line. So this seems to be a skill shot, dealing damage, knocking back enemies. This is several. Colliding with a vehicle or super unit immobilizes and damages them. You ready? For 10-second period. Wait, what the fuck? Mad Dread is going to be able to tunnel, right? Find himself Imperial Knight Solaria, tackle the shit out of it, and stun it for 10 seconds. What the fuck? This is amazing. It's Mad Dread all the damn time now. He's going to be able to appear anywhere, charge whatever unit he wants, and then follow-up units come out of the damn tunnel. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, you're stunned? Okay, bye now. I'm like, wait, what? That is incredible. Bleed broken. I love that. Additional changes. This one's pretty damn huge, but it's the last part, as the following stuff is going to be a bunch of bug fixes, but this is pretty damn important for the Watt Towers. Watt Towers power cost increase from 75 requisition to 75 power to 125 requisition and 85 power. So they needed to increase the resources you're grabbing from the creator of resources. So you're not going to be able to spam Watt Towers as fast. Also, what they did, you're not gonna be able to tech up as fast. The Watt Tower buff damage has been reduced to it. Used to be buffing your damage 50%, so you were dealing 150% damage. Now you're gonna be dealing 135% damage. The WA buff bonus has been decreased as well, so you're not gonna be running around as fast when you're all WA'd up. And there was an issue where the WA granted Gorgot Spinning Claw would stack, which, you know, there's a WA on top of the WA. That means it would stack. That means instead of us having 3, we would have 6. We'd have so much more. That sounds ridiculous. So they fixed that if the Spinning Claw WA went off, and then that. Also, with that being said, with the whole WA going off, the longer WA upgrade power cost has been increased from 25 to 75. It used to only cost 75 power. However, longer WA upgrades requisition cost increased from 0. As I said, it only used to cost 75 power. Now it costs 75 requisition and 75 power. Yep. We're going to be paying 75 rec and 75 rec power, sorry, to be able to get the longer WA upgrade. The thing is, this is a must. As an orc player, you have to get longer WA. Why do I have to, you ask? Well, longer WA is essentially the old WA that we have, but a tiny bit better. What do you mean by that? Okay, so here you go. The longer WA upgrade now increases the damage buff of WA by 50%. So, you're gonna sit on your 125 increased damage output, but the longer WA upgrade increases by 50, so you're essentially gonna have 185% damage increase with the longer WA upgrade. It also increases your speed back to 3, what we used to have. You see where I'm going with this? It's our last WA upgrade, or what we used to have WA upgrade, with just a tad bit more damage if you upgrade it to longer WA utilizing 75 power, 75 requisition. Pilot guns no longer requires 1 WA tower, so we can build pilot guns immediately. So but increasing the damage output, shields, health, whatever, all that stuff you can get to as soon as possible. Scrap site has been renamed. Scrap site was a doctrine from the orcs that was utilized by Wazmaka. If this loads up, where is he at? Right here. So scrap site. This does not exist anymore. It is not what you think. Scrap site used to be whenever you damage a structure or a structure breaks, or it used to be the enemy structure stuff. Is it gonna blow up anytime soon? Come on. Anyways, the thing would blow up and it would give you vision. Essentially, that's what scrap sight means. So it's been removed. No longer triggers. It's gone. Now what it does, it grants. So this is like the drop pods. It now grants 125 shields and a 15 meter. I guess it's meters now. We're going by meters. Radius around your own destroyed vehicles and structures. So whenever something with that doctrine, with the scrap shield doctrine, scrap shield now provides a shield when something, let's say you're fighting, right, and your your boys hut goes to shit, or your Wa tower goes down, and these are structures that are getting destroyed. In a 15-meter radius, your units that are near that structure are gaining a 125 shield. What I'm curious about, because I like to build kind of close, is can I stack this? It doesn't say. Is my boys hut and Daka hut gonna take a dive right next to each other, and do I gain a 250 shield? Pretty damn interesting if you ask me. And with that being said, there is more stuff, bug fixes. If you are very curious on what these are, you can go ahead and go through these. I will not go through all of this stuff. There's certain, you know what, there's actually one thing that I saw earlier that I thought was hilarious. This right here. Fix the bug. So they they fixed the bug where long-range rockets would sometimes deal damage to your allies. This never happened to me, but could you imagine? You're like minding your own business. You have your buddies right in front of you. It's like some assault marines, and you see the enemy coming. You want to blast them to shit, and instead you shoot your allies in the in the rear. Like that's. Thank you for that for that bug fix. It never happened to me, but it sounds absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I'm gonna post these bug fixes in the comment section below. Not comment section, in the description below. If you want to check them out for yourself. Tell me what you think. This was a pretty damn long video. I don't know how long this lasted, but it lasted pretty long. We went through the entire soundtrack. Sorry this was long, but this was intended to be like a hangout section. So if you're very curious on what was going on, what was changing, I think this was a good dissection of it all. If you liked this type of stuff, I'm willing to do more of it every time the patch comes out. There was a hell of a lot we went through. Jeez. So as I said, we are going to be keeping an eye on what Dawn of War is telling us. Let's see if anything has changed. I don't think so. It's pretty damn late now. So we're going to keep an eye on this, and hopefully we'll see this update tomorrow. Alright guys, I'll see y'all next time whenever. Hopefully I'll be able to play it on the new patch this weekend. I know it's Labor Day weekend, but I'm pretty sure I am. I'll see you guys. Peace!